Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a Kubernetes cluster on VMware's vSphere environment. So first step is to create a gateway. Gateway is an entry point into VMware's environment, and once you deploy this gateway into the VMware environment, it connects back to our controller to do further actions. Now this is how you create a gateway. So once this gateway is created, let's list down the gateway that we created. This is the gateway that we created above. Now let's look at the config details of the gateway. Now if you see, it shows the OVF URL. Now this URL we'll use to import into VMware. Let's go to VMware vSphere and then import this OVF, right clicking and then deploy OVF. Now let's hit next and then select the location where you want to for this virtual machine and give it a name, and then select the location, and once you give the name, then go to next. Demo G gateway, this is the name, and then let's hit next, and then now select the compute for this operation. Now hit next. This is going to take a while. Once this is done, then you're going to select the storage. This is the list, and then next is to select the storage. In our case, the storage is workload data store. Let's select the data store and then go next, and then more next, and then select the network that you want this VM to use. In our case, the network is HDC rough AKTS, and then hit OK and then click on next. Yeah, here if you see the form, it will ask you gateway token. So gateway token is what if you see, just paste that token here. This token is used to authenticate gateway when it connects back to our controller, and then there is an ID, unique ID. If you see, the config details had this listed. Now hit next, and this is the preview, what all details you gave, and then hit finish. Once you hit finish, the gateway VM will start getting deployed. Now once this is going to take a while. If you see, this is going to take a while. It's fetching the details. If you see the the tasks details, yeah. Next step is to create the credential, which will be used to interact with vCenter and do further actions. Now this is how you will create a credential using Raphase CLI. Yeah, give gateway name, which is what the gateway you created in the upper step. Give that gateway name and a name of the credential, and these are the vCenter credentials: username, password, and vSphere FQDN. And then give the credential name, demo as credentials, and hit enter, and credentials will get created on the controller. This is the gateway name, and then hit enter. And this is the gateway name that we created above. Hit enter, and credential will get created on the controller. These credentials will be used further to do cluster provisioning. So let's use this credential in the cluster config file. Let's look at the config file that will be used to provision a cluster. Yeah, so this is the config file. This has cloud credentials. This is we'll have to give the cloud credential that we created, and if you see, it has all the vCenter related configuration. Calico, the networking plugin, that CNI plugin that we are using, the network name that this VM will be part of, Kubernetes cluster. Let's give it a name and then save, and then let's go ahead and see gateway. Oh yeah, it's completed. Okay, let's go ahead and create the cluster. If you see, this gateway is complete, all the tasks are showing complete. Now let's go ahead and create the cluster. rctl create cluster type as vSphere, and then pass this file, config file YAML. Now yeah, this is going to take a while. Now once this is submitted, it will start provisioning the cluster. And now let's see, let's wait for a few more seconds. Here you go, it successfully submitted the request. Here you go, the UI. If you see the UI, the cluster started getting provisioned. The first step, it is getting initialized. See, it moved into a next step. It's creating a bootstrap node, which is a temporary node to create, which is used to create target clusters. This will go through these conditions, one by one. It is a bootstrap node is done. Let's see the CLI, how it shows in the CLI. Get cluster JSON. These all steps are shown in the CLI as well. You see, it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes to complete all the steps, and your cluster will be ready within 10 minutes. If you see on the vSphere client, you will see control plane just came up. If you see, it just control plane came up, worker node came up. Now it's applying. If you see, this came up. Now it's applying the Rafa's blueprint. That's also done. Now it's waiting for Rafa pods to be healthy, be up and running. It's let's wait. It also will take few seconds. Here you go, it is healthy. Now it's pivoting. It's moving all the provider related configuration from bootstrap node to the target cluster. Now it's deleting the bootstrap node, which is an ephemeral node. Now let's see, here you go, your cluster is ready. Now let's see the nodes. This is the worker node, and this is the control plane. Now this is the control plane. Let's try to see the configuration. See, this is the configuration that we used for vCenter. Let's try to kubectl it. Let's try to do some get nodes using kubectl. Get nodes. This is at the Kubernetes layer, worker node and control plane. Let's look at the pods. Here you go. These are the pods scheduled on this cluster. Here you go. Thank you very much.